Part 7 of the Military Journals of Two Private Soldiers, 1758-1775. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by FNH. The Military Journals of Two Private Soldiers, 1758-1775, by Abraham Tomlinson. Part 7. Monday, 28th. Every private in our company was out upon duty that was able, and about 4 o'clock we came in, and the orders were that every man should make ready to fire 3 volleys. And first they fired the cannon at the fort, one after t'other round, the fort which is 21, then the small arms, and so 3 rounds apiece, and then made a great fire on the parade, and played round it, and 1 gill of rum a man allowed for the frolic, and a barrel of beer for a company. It was the King's birthday. The firing of 21 heavy guns formed a royal salute, and a very wet night. Tuesday, 29th. Very wet in the morning, then cleared of cold. I went upon duty and sent a letter home. Friday, September ye 1st. Our duty was to help get out the cannon out of the bottom of the river that was dropped in by means of going too near the end of the bridge, and sunk the scows and drowned 1 ox. Very cold work. A woman whipped 70 stripes and drummed out of the camp. Saturday, 2nd. I was called upon the picket guard today. Last night I went down to Fort Mosquito. Fort Mosquito was a breastwork cast up at the mouth of Snook's Creek, and Smith Ainsworth treated us well. Sunday, 3rd. I was out upon the escort, and every man upon some duty. I went to meeting part of the forenoon, and the text was in Acts 24 and 25. Charles Rippler was put in ensign. Monday, 4th. Our post sot of home. I went down to Fort Mosquito to guard teams, and the post, and the lobsters. This was a nickname for the regular troops, who were dressed in scarlet uniforms, and our men hopped and wrestled together to see which would beat, and our men beat. Tuesday, 5th. Still, and nothing strange. Wednesday, 6th. Most all of our men upon duty. I was to work a making a road to go up to the great blockhouse. Thursday, 7th. All our men out upon works guarding teams, and a great number of them, nigh 100. And when we came back, there was a scout come in from Fort Edward, that went out from the lake. They discovered nothing. Friday, 8th. This day, Sergeant Earls went out to Fort Anne. Fort Anne was erected in 1757, a year before the occurrence here narrated took place. It was a strong blockhouse of logs, with portholes for cannon and loopholes for musketry, and surrounded by a picket of pine saplings. When the writer visited the spot in 1848, he dug up a part of one of the pickets yet remaining in the earth, and, on splitting it, it emitted the pleasant odor of a fresh pine log, though 90 years had elapsed since it was placed there. This fort was near the bank of Wood Creek, about 11 miles from the head of Lake Champlain, at the village of Whitehall. It was in the line of Burgoyne's march towards the Hudson in 1777, and near it quite a severe skirmish took place between Colonel Long, of Schuyler's army, and a British detachment under Colonel Hill, on the 8th of July, the day after Ticonderoga was abandoned to the enemy. Victory was almost within the grasp of Colonel Long, when his ammunition failed, and he was compelled to retreat. After the Canoe, Lieutenant Lannard, and Ephraim Ellinghood-Knapp, and John Ryerson, and Jeb Brooks, and Hezekiah Carpenter, they 6 of our company, 40 in all, went along. I went to work at the highway, and had half a pint of rum for it. Saturday, 9th. I was warned a quarter guard, and I changed with Moses Peak, and went upon escort, and got in by 12 o'clock. I was warned out to work, but did not do much. Sergeant Earls came in with his colonel, and the General was much pleased with it. Sunday, 10. I was upon guard, but went to meeting a part of the forenoon, and the text was in 24 of Acts, and 25 verse, and the afternoon the text was in James, the 6th and 12th verse. Monday, 11. I took 4 days' provisions, and Josh Barrett, and 1 ranger with me, and we went out near Fort Anne, and we spied a fire and some person, and we come back and made our report to the General, and he blamed us some, and said we should have a new pilot and go again. Joe Downer put under guard. Tuesday 12th. I was freed from duty, and we went and split out some plank to do up our tent. Wednesday 13th. To work in the fort and wheeling gravel all day. 4 regulars whipped in fort, some for gaming, and one for being absent after being warned upon guard. Thursday 14th. I was warned on escort down to Misery, Fort Misery, and flanked all day Tuesday. 12 at night, there was 2 bonfires and 2 barrels of rum allowed for the rejoicing of Broad Street's taking Catarocry, the Indian name of the site of Fort Frontenac, where Kingston, Upper Canada, now stands, taken by Colonel Bradstreet, was Cataracta. That was also the Indian name for Lake Ontario. Friday 15th. Day I was to work over upon island, and worked hard a shoveling dirt, and see Ephraim Ellinghood taken poorly. Saturday 16th. Day I went to cutting fascines, bundles of sticks mixed with earth, and used for filling ditches in the construction of forts, and stented, 4 apiece in half a day, and 12 stakes. Sunday 17th. All our men upon works. Mr. Pomeroy preached 1 sermon, and his text in James chapter 5 and 12 verse. Stephen Child had a post to Albany, and sot out this day 1 regular come in that was a fishing at Halfway Brook. Monday 18th. I was to work over to the blockhouse, and took my farewell of working there, and all our sick were drawed up, and some discharged. Tuesday 19th. 4 of our company had a final discharge from the campaign, and sot off home Seth Bassett, Jonathan Corbin, John Peake, and Silas Hodges. Wednesday 20th. Still here, the main of us, and nothing remarkable, only almost all our Woodstock men came up, and with great joy we received them, and much more the things that were sent us. I received a letter from Ben Lyon. Thursday 21st. Nothing remarkable this day. Friday 22nd. Our Woodstock old militia sot out home, and Lieutenant Smith and Corporal Peake and William Mercy and Samuel Leavins had passed to Albany, and went with them along down, and many more that did not belong to our company. Saturday 23. Our post came up, and I received a letter from home. Sunday 24th. Mr. Pomeroy preached 1 sermon in the middle of the day, so that the workmen might have some opportunity to hear some his text, was in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, and 36th verse. I was to work upon the island, and I heard part of the sermon. The channel between Rogers Island, on which the great blockhouse was built, and Fort Edward, does not exceed 200 feet in width. Monday 25. Nothing remarkable, only Stephen Lyon got hurt, Samuel Morris and Chubb went down along to Albany. Tuesday 26th. 1 scout went out for 3 days this day. A great number of teams came down from the lake. Wednesday 27th. The Thompson men that came up to see us sot out along New England, and Sergeant Cromber had a pass to Albany and went down along. Thursday 28th. Nothing remarkable, only the scout came in that went out for 3 days. Friday 29th. Nothing remarkable, only very long orders. End of Part 7. Recording by FNH. Please visit www.bookranger.co.uk.